Sorry I haven't made a video. It's been kind of hectic. It's been kind of pissy. I don't want to bore you with my issues, but I got sick. I had to work overtime. Schoolwork. Family member passed. Phone broke. Oh man, just not my week. Not my week. By the way, add me on Facebook at weryugioh. But anyways, I'm sick. So let's just do this discussion because I wanted to make it so I will get through the sickness. Just slap it right out of me without the slap because I'm not slapping myself right now. Do I sound nasally? I feel like I might sound nasally. Anyways, what this discussion is dueling online versus dueling in real life. Or practicing online versus practicing in real life. Whatever you prefer. Playing the game. Fuck it. We're playing the game online or in person. What is better? What is the best way to play? Now, many might argue right now, well, playing in real life hones your skills 10 times more. Arguably, yes. Because if you're dueling in this game, there are not really online tournaments right now. And maybe in the future there will be. But if you go to a tournament, it's a YCS or a regional. So I can kind of see your point right there that dueling in person is always the best option. While I will definitely agree with you right off the bat, but it's not going to be the total conclusion of this topic because, like my situation, not everybody has access to people in real life to play with, which is unfortunate and sucks, but not everybody's got great locals. Maybe not everybody has a bunch of friends that plays it. Maybe there's somebody that they don't have any friends who plays it.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you.
But it's kind of hard to go to things. I'm not saying it's impossible, you definitely can. But it's just a little bit harder to get into the more social aspect of it by yourself. Not saying you can't, just saying it's a little bit more difficult for some people. Not everybody. It definitely has its advantages of being able to duel in real life. But what are the advantages of playing online versus that? Well, up until recently, but we'll just talk about it as a whole and not the problems that are occurring right now. Online, you can play whenever. You have access to all the cards. So something against that you have in real life is you have to buy certain cards, certain decks, and you're only going to practice on the deck you need. But when it comes to actual basis Yu-Gi-Oh skills, you should be probably playing in real life to learn those. But as a whole, you never have access to all the cards at once. If you want to test the crazy shit, if you want to play the most highest up deck that's expensive, or you want to play the lowest tier dog shit, you can play whatever you want online, and you can play against however many people you want. You can keep playing it, unless the servers are down. But you can keep playing, and you can play as long as you want, and you can test all the aspects. Now, you do have, depending on the platform, which, like I said, we're going to talk in past pretense. Up until now, not really the same story, but before, on Duel Network, it was just basically like playing in real life. You had to know rulings, you had to know timings, and you had to know when to play. So that was a better form of practice because even though you were not playing the cards, you definitely had to know timings, rulings, and when things go into effect and how they don't go into effect. But with Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro and Dev Pro, and while it is automated and you definitely learn or lose that learning curve, it can also help you learn timings and stuff as well. Because since it's automated and it's not always perfect, so you have to take it with a tiny, tiny grain of salt. While you're playing, you'll see something, you're like, oh shit, I didn't know that was when that would go off, or I didn't know that card had that effect at that certain amount of time, or if that's how the effect played off. You can learn things, especially when you're a new player, or if a new decks are coming out and you're playing on Dev Pro or Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. You can play these things and learn these things. You know it's self-automated, so you know your opponent can't cheat if you're not aware of a certain ruling or discussion. Whereas if you played on the old Duel Network when that was a thing, or maybe it is back up. I was never a big Duel Network fan, so I can't really tell you. So I could be feeding false information, but last I heard it was down. The thing I didn't like about that, because I used to play it a long time, is the lack of that it's automated. While I might know the rulings for my deck, and your opponent, and you might not know your opponent's rulings, he could be throwing off lies. When I first got back in the game, and I didn't even know what Dark Worlds were, did not even know it was a thing. This guy was playing Dark Worlds, and I thought it was the best deck in the world. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is this? He was playing cards like Lightning Vortex and like Dark Core, and when he discarded, that discard counted as his effects. That was just complete bullshit because it was a cost. That I didn't know at the time because I just got back into the game at a more advanced level than it was when I left the game. I wasn't aware of the difference between a cost and a card effect. And you might call me new, but you have to understand I was just into the game. I did not know the new aspects. I did not know the new decks. I did not know those types of information. That is something I don't like about Duel Network. Now, as of currently, you can usually call out bullshit if you're an experienced player, but I wouldn't say it's great for the new players because they can't necessarily know what's bullshit and what's not and who's feeding them the bullshit. So you can kind of get away with stupid shit comparatively to Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro and Duel Network. The only problems with those are you need internet access, and while most people do have internet these days, there might be some people that are living on their own and can't afford internet access, or maybe they just have it simply on their phone. You never know with Yu-Gi-Oh! And it might not always be available just like dueling in real life. So what does this conclusion come down to? Both of them are definitely needed platforms. I feel like they should be used in tandem. Now, some people might be like, well, this is kind of a pointless conversation, and I was just saying the pros and cons of them, and the in real life one didn't have any pros and cons, except more sociability. I feel like if you want to be a good player all around, you should be using all the resources at your hand, just like anybody would have played a sport or something. They would use all the resources they can to train and gain knowledge of that sport, reading up on things, watching strategies. Same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want to be a good player, you should look up strategies, deck profiles, net decking, even though some people argue against it, and looking up and playing in real life with people when you can, and learning how to call out callings, be more confident, and things like that. And try to see me, I get nervous when I play in tournaments. Not with anybody else, but if it's a tournament, I get nervous. I don't know why. It's just me. I'm a nervous person, I suppose. But you should learn how to control that within real life, but I don't have much in real life opportunities. So for me, it's something that sucks. But with Duel Network and Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, you should definitely study those to try out different decks that you can't afford, to try different aspects, learn different new cards, and also how rulings and effects and timings work in specific manners that you might not have been aware of before. So, as a whole, I don't know why some people are against playing online, and I've never really heard of anybody against being in real life, but altogether, I feel like you have to have it all. You need it all to be a good player. Now, let me know down below, what do you guys think? Now, what I want you to tell me down below is, what is your favorite thing to help you better your skills at Yu-Gi-Oh? Is it watching videos? Any videos. I mean, like discussions, topic videos, whatever, like that. Is it playing the game in real life or playing the game online? What do you think out of those three helps you the most in the game? And yes, I want you to comment. So let me know down below, and add me on Facebook too. Well, that's all for me, guys. I'll see you later. Peace.
Damn.